Hi everyone, yes, well, I'm back again. It's time for Ataku's reactions, and this time I'm going back to the Ranger team-ups, and today it is Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, episodes 29 and 30, Trakeenas Revenge Parts 1 and 2. So, yes, this is the official second of the annual team-ups after the Lost Galaxy team-up with the Space Rangers, and I remember it. I was very surprised when I, saw, because you can see very quickly when the episode starts that it is the annual team up. It didn't do as well as the previous one. It wasn't as popular. Then again, Lightspeed wasn't the most popular series, but I enjoyed it. Um, I'm aware that there were some behind the scenes issues in this episode, like as with several of the team ups particularly, which we'll talk about a bit more at the end of the two-parter. Okay, well, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy. So we open up on the planet Miranoi, and it's raining, and we can see the Quasar Sabers back in the stone where the Rangers return them at the end of Lost Galaxy. And we see someone in a very familiar looking blue jacket come and pull one out and raise the saber to the sky, calling out the Go Galactic and morphing. And yes, it's Leo morphing into the Red Ranger. And then we're now approached by some villains dressed as ghouls, and I believe, yes, they actually call the ghouls, and they do resemble ghouls. So they got big yellow eyes and black cloaks and big swords. So yes, Leo's engaging the ghouls in battle, and we can see that what's happened on Miranoi since Terra Venture crash landed on it and all the colony arrived, that they've have built a city on the planet. So much for a brand new world with no pollution. But anyways, they've got to live, I suppose. So the ghouls have escaped with a monster, a supposed demon, and they've left Miranoi and entered a portal which apparently leads to Earth. So yes, now we end up with the Lightspeed Rescue intro. Lightspeed Rescue. I say, I did like this series. I like the approach it took. I don't know if I might have said this before, but I have done other Lightspeed episodes, so. But yeah, I like the idea of the technology being all man-made, and according to Linkara's information on History of Power Rangers, he found out that one of the original script ideas was going to be that Lightspeed had reverse-engineered the technology from previous destroyed Zords that belonged to older Rangers, which makes sense, but they potentially discarded it in the show to bring in more new viewers. So it did have more of a fresh approach, even though there's absolutely no doubt this is definitely canon with the rest. So. Yes, we open now at a park in Marina Bay with a little girl and her mother playing. It looks like they're playing hide and seek. Well, it looks like the mother can see her shoes, but it's obvious what the kid's done. She's hidden her shoes. And yes, Heather, the little girl, can sneak up on her. So yes, it looks like Heather and her mum want to stop at her father's workplace on the way home. And yes, the Rangers are driving by in the Rescue Rover. Yes, once again reminding us that in this series the Rangers' identities are known to the public. And it looks like they're on their way to help with a fire. Supposedly we don't know what's caused it, if it's a monster or if this is just a random fire that's set off. But yes, the Rangers are helping to get all the people out of the building. Well, since they work for a government operation, it makes sense for them to assist with everyday disaster as well as monster attacks. And Joel's flying over now in his Air Rescue, I think it's called, yeah, Air Rescue 3, which is the plane, since he's the Sky Cowboy, so it makes sense for him to have the flying Zord. And looks like he's getting carried away. So Joel's dropping up water bombs on the building to put out the flames. And yes, he's also dropped out a new news pictures for everyone to pick up for him to sign, since he has to be the centre of attention. And it looks like on his new poster, it's him holding a model of his Zord like a camera. And of course, he's attracted a crowd, so everyone knows he's the Green Ranger and obviously a famous stunt pilot. And now we cut to the skyscraper, supposedly where Heather's father works. On the 13th floor. Granted, I know this isn't this isn't a hotel, but it looks like something bad is obviously happening here. So Heather's mother knocks on her husband's door. Oh, and it looks like, yes, the ghouls are in the office building, and 4 of them have caught Heather's mother and are dragging her into another office, which supposedly I think it's a lab. Maybe it's a science lab. Yeah, probably a science lab sort of place. And the mother's trying to fight off the ghouls quite impressively, but to no avail. So Heather's mother now sees her husband is clearly shrunk and imprisoned in a container. And looks like that same monster who Leo was fighting has now shrunk her and imprisoned her in one as well. So yes, this monster and the ghouls are taking the life energy from people. So it looks like the person who the life energy is supposedly for looks very familiar from what we can see. So the monster's now disguised himself as a security guard. Huh? Right, if anyone could hear then, or knows of this episode, supposedly what this woman at the office counter's just said, this assistant just said to the little girl, is that apparently there's no such thing as monsters. But this woman lives in this city, which is constantly being under attack by monsters, and yes, the Earth has been constantly under attack by monsters. Well, at least different cities in California have since 1993. What a dummy, eh? And while I was giving that description, I saw that the monster in disguise tried to hand over Heather to the ghouls. Now we cut back to the lab, where we can see Olympius and the monster discussing the transfer of the life energy that is complete. Supposedly we're meant to believe at the moment it's for Queen Banshira, but given we've seen this oddly familiar looking character, there's obviously going to be a twist coming. And Yes, the character is materialising now, and it is Trakeenas. Supposedly with a different voice, because it's not the same actress. And she has now a mask covering the bottom half of her mouth. The bottom half of her face, supposedly because it's a different actress, yes. So it looks like at the moment this monster is supposedly a double agent, actually working for Trakeenas and pretending to gather the life energy for the demons and Queen Banshira. So yes, Heather's now outside the building and she's stuck for what to do, and Carter's walking by. So Heather's now explaining to Carter what happened. Oh yeah, so now the monster's back in disguise as the security guard, and of course Heather's warning Carter. And it looks like Heather left her ball behind when she was supposedly being thrown to the monsters, so he's giving it back. So Carter says yes, he does believe her, and yes, he certainly should do since he's a ranger. So yes, Carter's secretly spying on the monster in disguise. And it looks like Heather's decided to follow along. Signing a little girl as a junior ranger. So now the other four rangers are driving back to the Aqua base in the rescue rover. Oh look, and supposedly Leo with his quasar sabers just ran right out into the road in front of the rescue rover to stop them. And he's looks like he's injured. And Kelsey's pointed out that she knows who he is just by recognising the quasar saber. So, but I suppose it kind of makes sense that since it must have been known that Terra Venture was going to find a new world since it left from Earth a year ago. Well, yeah, it's probably been nearly 2 years since the journey was taking place whilst during the Lost Galaxy series, while the Rangers were also in duty. So, but yeah, and I suppose they would know about everything. When people on Earth would have known about everything that happened there. Ugh. And the ghouls have intercepted the Rangers now. Good. Some really good stunt work here in this fight, the Lightspeed Rangers and the ghouls. So it looks like they have the Rangers and Leo cornered. But Leo's going to do his classic move to energise his Quasar Saber. And it looks like that's sorted out the ghouls. Oh, well, yes, the disguised monster is still lurking around, and yeah, Carter and Heather are just secretly following him. And they're intercepted by another team of ghouls, so... Carter tries to fight them off. Because why doesn't Carter morph? He'd probably have time to. Oh no, it looks like they're trying to take Heather as well. And Heather's trying to fight them off with a ball. She's courageous. And help has now arrived in the form of Maya and Kai. So yes, Carter knows obviously who they are, so as I say, it makes sense that news probably got back to Earth of them having to fight Scorpius and Trakeenas on Terror Adventure, and supposedly, there was another big space battle. Yeah, the finale to Lost Galaxy was good, but let's not get off task here. So now they're all back at the Aqua base. So Leo's telling the Lightspeed Rangers about the end of Lost Galaxy, supposedly when Trakeenas entered the cocoon and mutated to green, and that he had to fight her and almost sacrificed himself to destroy her. Well, supposedly she wasn't destroyed. And yes, it turns out Trakeenas wants to steal the people's life energy she's captured so she can mutate to green again. And Dana is using her first aid skills to see to Heather, supposedly injured from being attacked by the ghouls. And Heather runs after the Rangers. And of course, Heather's sweet charm has yet again worked on Carter to let her accompany them. So they're now a sort of rock quarry where the monster is awaiting them. And it looks like we've now got a full battalion of ghouls. So. And the Lost Galaxy Rangers morph, not with the same morphing sequence from Lost Galaxy. That is actually the Ginja Man Sentai Henshin sequence they use. supposedly just to save money. And the Lightspeed Rangers have also morphed, and now they're all battling the ghouls together. Yeah, it was odd how only Mike, Leo, and Kai. Kai, Maya, and Leo. Sorry, had particular poses with their to power up their Quasar Sabers. Neither Kendricks or Damon didn't have it for some odd reason. So the monster, whom we now know is called Triskull, seems still to be too much for still 8 Rangers. And that's the end of part 1. Okay, ready to start part 2. You... I don't know what's going on. Right, sorry, I'm just going to start this again. It started very quickly, so... Yeah, so Heather's now running out of the rescue rover. And yeah, it looks like Triskull's blast demorphed all the Rangers. It looks like there's some kind of spy thing spying on Trakeena and Triskull. So yes, it turns out that spying creature is spying for the demons, and now Olympius has discovered that Triskull has in fact betrayed them and is working with Trakeena. So it looks like Olympius has a plan to poison Trakeenas when she tries to mutate. Now we cut back to Meronoi, where it's still raining, and the 2 remaining Quasar Sabers are pulled from the stone. So Carter's plan is to send Heather into the building to pull the fire alarm to get it evacuated so the Rangers can head in and rescue all the captured people. And Heather's now realising the responsibilities of being a junior ranger. She's crawling under the reception where that dumb woman who believes there's no such thing as monsters. So Trakeenas sent Triskull to find out what's going on since she heard the alarm. Ah yes, and the firemen and the police have been called. And Carter and Leo are now in firemen uniforms. And so it turns out, that's all the Rangers, in fireman uniforms, evacuating the building. So Carter and Leo now head off to try and get into the building to rescue all the civilians, or the captured civilians, and they morph together. Oh yeah, but Triskull is in their way. So Carter used his enhanced punch with his battleizer to stop Triskull, and it looks like it's defeated him. Right, I'm not being funny, right? Sure, yeah, I know Carter's the big heroic leading Red Ranger, and the battle boosters are supposed to enhance him and make him stronger. But Triskull took out 8 Rangers with the course of 2 blasts, and all it takes is one punch from the battleizer, supposedly to actually defeat him. So now, Carter and Leo are in the science lab, and Leo's discovered the shrunken, captured people. Oh, looks like, there's ghouls up there, of course, to keeping guard. And right on cue, the remaining Galaxy Rangers, Kendricks and Damon, enter to assist them. So it looks like Trakeenas come to battle the 4 Rangers. So now all the other Rangers going to head up to save them, but it looks like Trakeenas blasted them right through the wall of the skyscraper, and they're now falling out from the very top of the building. So the rescue rover parks up and releases a giant inflatable thing for them to land on. So now we cut, yes, to the morphing sequence where we get the Ginja Men henshin sequence instead of the Lost Galaxy morphing sequence. And we can see that I think they're using a mixture here of both Ginja Man footage and Go-Go 5 footage. Why the Rangers take the time to tell us their colours. So yes, Olympus now sends Battlings back to supposedly destroy the Rangers. And given that the Battlings are about as useless as any other henchmen, I don't see what. I mean, yeah, they're about these Battlings, the henchmen for this season. The foot soldiers. They're about as useless as the putties were. So clearly each colour are fighting in sync with each other. Yeah, I think they're definitely using scenes from the Sentai team up, you can tell. So Trakeenas is now ready to go ahead with the process of mutating. So she's going to strap herself into the chair. And yes, transformation is beginning. So yes, Olympus has now summoned the dagger he poured the poison onto. And he's thrown it through the hole in the roof. And it's gone into the machine that's transferring the life energy to Trakeenas, and she's now being poisoned. And Trakeenas, now apparently the poison seems to have turned her into a massive monster. It's resemblant of kind of a demon, so. Oh yeah, big fire-breathing monster with tentacles. Why couldn't she have become something like this at the end of Lost Galaxy? That would have been much more. That would have been much more impressive. Yeah, I'm quite certain this is obviously team-up footage. of Sentai team-up footage. So the Lightspeed Rangers are summoning the Omega Megazord. And also the Max Solar Zords coming to help as well. So Trakeenas beating the crap out of the Omega Megazord, and she's got both swords in her tentacles, and now it's giving them a nice blast. So the Galaxy Rangers are kind of in an awkward position because they don't know how to get the Galacta Beasts to help them, but... Oh no, but the Galacta Beasts have arrived. So the Rangers now summon the Lights of Orion. So yes, the Galaxy Megazord is using its traditional finishing move with the Megazord Saber, and the Omega Megazord is firing the Omega Missile. And the thing is, you can clearly tell this is not original footage because you can briefly see Defender Torozord there, even though the Magna Defender is ideally not there in the westernized version. You can briefly see Defender Torozord if you look carefully. So it looks like even though the Omega Megazord is okay, the Galaxy Megazord has been disassembled, and the Galaxy Rangers seem to be wiped out. Oh no, it looks like the Lights of Orion can super energize the Rangers. So now the Galaxy Rangers are in the cockpit of the Omega Megazord with the Lightspeed Rangers, and it's enhanced the Omega Megazord to have both the appearance of the Omega Megazord and the Galaxy Megazord. So that looks kind of cool, actually. I don't think it was ever released. I don't know if it's ever been released as a toy, but it's cool. So it has the Galaxy Megazord Saber with the Lightspeed sign on it, which looks cool, and the Omega Missile as well. So with a fairly impressive looking finishing move of just waving the saber and the Mega Missile, they finished off Trakeenas. And yeah, looks like now all the captured people are free. So yes, Heather is now reunited with her mum and dad. So Carter gives Heather her own Lightspeed badge to mark her as an official junior ranger. And Joel's trying to impress Kendricks and Maya by offering them one of his new signed posters, but they turn it down. So the Lightspeed Rangers ask them to Galaxy Rangers to consider staying for a while, but no, they have to get back to Miranoi. Plus, there's no way they can afford to shoot about another 10 episodes of original footage with 2 Ranger teams. So, yeah, looks like it's time to say goodbye. So, the Galaxy Rangers are flying off in the jet jammers back to Miranoi. Or maybe they're just going back through that portal. And, yeah, followed by the rescue rover. And that's the end of that. Okay. Right, well, bit of episode info before we wrap up. Okay, well, yes, so that was Trakeenas Revenge, parts 1 and 2. As I say, I remember seeing it. I was very excited because I didn't know the full lineup of Lightspeed Rescue until I'd seen it all through the first time, and I was very excited when it finally came on. As I say, I'm aware of the problems that the episode has, and certain behind-the-scenes issues, such as one of the things that happened is I think Amy Miller, or she became Amy Roll because she married Reggie Roll, who played Damon after Lost Galaxy, and basically she was meant to reprise the role of Trakeena, but she wasn't happy with the considerably reduced pay the Lost Galaxy cast would get. Because what I heard was that the Lost Galaxy cast were going to feature in a sort of movie together, but it was cancelled, and then they got to do this instead. Yeah, and I think the biggest issue people had with the two-parter, myself included, really, is the whole subplot with Carter and Heather, the little girl. That they dedicated a huge chunk of the two-parter to, the Red Ranger bonding with a little girl, and that really gets in the way and that really does get in the way of the plot. This is supposed to be a team up. That sort of thing's okay in filler episodes, but not in a team up, which is meant to be a big highlight of the series. Is when they do this. Also, Danny Slavin, who played Leo, he apparently walked off the set at one point. I think due to disagreements with Saban's producers, but obviously they obviously worked around it somehow. They must have shot the ending scene before, I don't suppose the episode was shot in chronological order because he's there at the end. But yeah, so I heard that. Nonetheless, for me, it is okay as a team up. It is a good storyline. Supposedly that Trakeena was still alive at the end of Lost Galaxy and just injured, which I suppose it's okay, and it explains things well. We get to see, even though it's not paid much attention to, we get to see some of what we get to see what's become of Miranoi and the Galaxy Rangers since the end of the previous season, and how it all ties in with with the current plot on Earth with the Lightspeed Rangers is done quite well. Yeah, and the fact that they did use some Sentai team-up footage in this is also good. Yeah, because I'm only aware is that only the Power of Pink and this team-up are the only two, I think, so far to actually have joint Megazord fights. I'm quite sure that it hasn't happened in any one of the others since. I really ought to know. No, I'm quite sure, yeah. Simply, I suppose, because of the budget, it's been considerably cut over the years. Because it is obviously expensive to shoot a lot of original footage with two different teams. Okay, right, well, so that was Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue episodes 29 and 30, Trakeenas Revenge Part 1 and 2, so that's another team up done. I'm not quite sure what the next one's going to be. I'm going over them and trying to remember them. I haven't watched any of them for a while, so I do want the reactions to be as fresh as they can, even though I will admit, because I'm a big Power Rangers fan, I would still know them quite well, even if I haven't watched them for a while. But nonetheless, I've enjoyed it. I hope you've all enjoyed this. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!